Hello and welcome back. I'm Baron Battlebred, your guide through the streets and whispers of Regate. Come gather round, you lost folk, as we spiral back into the Timebreakers, trying to rewrite history and change their fates. When we last left off, the Timebreakers had managed to lose their friend due to a kidnapping, track down their friend Sarah, make their way into the thieves' hideout, destroy them utterly, reclaim their friend, and manage to escape without actually falling down that giant hole, despite their best attempt. They are currently now standing in the field outside the secret entrance, in the middle of the shipping lanes, surprisingly close to the Tree of Shadows. As for what they plan on doing with the rest of their evening here on day 2, we'll jump to them. Timebreakers, what are your plans for the day?
Well, we figured out where the helmets were coming from, and that was of interest. So maybe we could do, I don't know.
Well, now that we got Sarah back, we should probably go to the castle and report all of this.
Thank you.
Agreed. And perhaps we shall inform them of the seedy elements that we found.
I don't see why not.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you guys want to head back to the castle. How would you like to get off the island?
The boat?
We have a boat.
I'm on a boat and...
You do currently have a boat, but if you'll remember correctly, it barely fit the 3 of you.
I'll just sit on Thad's shoulders.
A 40-pound robot on Thaddeus's shoulders. Yeah, that'll go well, considering that he's also rowing.
That's gonna go great.
Hey, I got a better idea. Can we just have Sarah hang off the back and use Sarah as the propeller?
I was going to suggest the exact same thing.
Can that be an acrobatics roll?
Yeah, you know what? Okay. So Shimmer, Elise, and Thaddeus get in the rowboat. Sarah latches on to the backside and gives me an acrobatics roll to see if you can kick against the current.
17.
Yeah, okay. Easy enough. We don't know why your legs are capable of moving like that, but apparently they are. And you make it to the edge of the shipping lanes with no problems. But you make it back up, you cross the bridges of the lanes. You know the castle is... Well, actually, I have a question for you. You can use the shipping lanes to get to a delivery dock on the back side of the castle. And you can probably do it faster through the water than if you were walking along the roads.
Yeah,
Would you like to do that instead?
Yes.
Yeah, I say we do that.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So you guys make your way down the shipping lanes. Going with the current is a lot faster than going against it, obviously. And it only takes you a few minutes to make it to the loading dock on the back side of the castle. As you come up to the dock that's under the castle, you climb up onto it, and there's just one guard currently sitting at the top of a long flight of stairs. He seems to be asleep at his post.
How responsible?
Well, what would you like to do? Do you want to try and sneak past him, or...
Well, we don't need to wake him.
Not in sneak.
I'm not even going to try to sneak past him. I'm just going to walk past him.
Yeah, just walk. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really any reason to do anything but.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys clamber up the stairs, this particular individual is entirely unobservant.
Huh.
Well,
You rolled a perception check for him and he fucking failed, didn't he?
Ha-ha! He made a couple of checks in his sleep as people walked past him. Elise made it past him. Shimmer made it past him. Thaddeus made it past him. Sarah, as your feet clink along the stone steps, though, he startles awake. He jumps to his feet, he grabs his spear, and he levels it at you. Who goes there?
Let's see, how would Sarah respond to this? Sarah is going to casually look up at him, be like, I am Sarah. I have business here in the castle. And then continue walking.
Roll me a persuasion. Yeah, roll me a persuasion check.
Just a straight dice roll. 16.
Yeah, all right. He's going to he's going to shake his head, right? His eyes are half closed. He's still partially asleep. And he's staring at a small creature he's never seen before. And he's just going to, as you walk into the doorway, he is going to reach up and pull on a rope that was hanging behind him. And you're going to hear a bell, like ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, to let other people know that people are coming up the stairs. You make it to the top of the stairs, and you watch as the steel portcullis that is guarding the door is slowly rising. So you have free entrance into the castle now.
Only ever that easy in real life.
Let me in, let me in, let me in.
Yeah, it's just, hey, I have business here. Sure. Yes.
If only. You step into the castle, into the main hallway. And Elise, I believe, is usually the one leading you into the space. You're coming from a different direction, so it takes you a little bit longer than you anticipated to... Whose room are you headed to?
The lizard.
You're headed to the lizard. Gonna go fight. Gonna go report to Lewis Ignatius Zephyr. As you make your way down the hallways, Elise, roll me a perception check.
That's a 14.
As you make your way down the hallways, Elise, looking around with your 14, because you like to keep a keen eye on what's around you, you notice that the last time you were here, there were fewer guards than the first time you were here. And this time, there are even fewer still. Instead of a guard at, say, every other entranceway and 2 or 3 patrolling, you see no guards standing their posts, and you only see, like, maybe 4 along the patrols, and nobody stops to question you.
Patrols are a bit light. This might not bode well.
It's either because all the other guards were cultists, which is not good, or worse.
The only, people we're seeing left are the cultists would be worse.
Yep.
Could just be a shift change.
You make it to the lizard's room.
The fact that nobody is acknowledging us is concerning, though.
It could also be the fact that it's a festival, so many of the other guards may be called to other locations.
I'm going to walk up to one of the guards and say, hey, buddy, why do you not have as much security here as you normally do?
He's going to stop, and he's going to kind of turn towards you, not in the usual rigid, sharp, militaristic movements that you would expect of a castle guard, but he's kind of leaning on his spear. He's just going to kind of, he's slouching a little bit. His head is going to turn towards you. He says, it's just, they've been disappearing slowly, one after the other. I didn't even finish my training, and yet here I am, wandering the halls.
Guards disappearing, eh?
Can somebody do an insight check on that?
I'm going to be rolling insight on that.
I have plus 6 wisdom. Insight, apparently. Can I also roll insight?
Oh, yeah. You're in close enough proximity. You can all roll it if you want. Or if someone can roll it at
15.
advantage.
I think all of us rolling is going to be a better result than one person rolling with advantage.
Okay. I heard a 15, a 16. I think I heard a 17.
Sarah got a 17.
Okay. Elise, were you rolling?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, the other 3 are looking.
So, Thaddeus, I believe you got your 16, correct?
No, I got a 12.
You got a
Shimmer
12?
got the 15, and Sarah got the 17.
I don't know where the 16 came from then. Thaddeus, with a 12, you stare at this man. Like, he's relaxed in his stance, very much not properly trained. He also looks like he hasn't slept in a while. His eyes are kind of sunken in. You can see some dark bags underneath it. He seems more annoyed at having to explain this to you. Like, where have you been? This has been happening for like 2 or 3 days now. But he does seem to be telling the truth. Shimmer and Sarah, you are looking at him from a different angle. And you watch that while he is leaning on his spear, as he is talking to Thaddeus, one hand slides to his side, and you watch as he grabs the hilt of his short sword, like ready to use it, should Thaddeus continue asking questions. It hasn't been drawn yet, but it definitely looks like he wants to.
I am going to put down my shield, pull out both of my rapiers, and step in between him and Thaddeus.
Hey, what are you?
What are you?
I'm a Thomas.
A Thomas.
Yeah. I work here.
Do you now?
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't sound very convincing.
He
He's just staring at you like mouth open, like eyebrow cocked. He's super confused right now.
Do you want me to explain my logic here? Or just keep going?
I personally would like you to explain your logic. Like, what's your plan here?
So just the fact that he's got his hand on his weapon, ready to use it, not his spear either, like which would be like the normal guard weapon, kind of gives me, for lack of a better way to word it, sus vibes that he's probably just a cultist here in the castle. Like he lacks all the mannerisms of a guard, but yes, he wasn't properly trained.
Okay. And what would you like to do with this suspicion?
Questioning him further. That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Go ahead and give me your next question, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay, hold on. Before I do that, what's the name of the fucking evil deity that these cultists worship?
They are, from what you gather, they are Cyricists. They worship the mad god Cyric.
Does this guy have any religious symbols on him?
Roll me an investigation. See if there's anything that you recognize.
If you mention that out loud, if Sarah mentions out loud that she's looking for this, Elise will take a closer eye too.
I got a 12.
You look over this man, and as you gaze upon his uniform, it looks like a castle guard's uniform, though as you look upon it, it's very clear that it has not been properly maintained. It's not as shiny as the ones you've seen. That you see, they're frayed. Like the seams are frayed. There are some thin spots, especially in up in the shoulders, and where the metal breastplate rubs against the edge of the pieces. This is not somebody who is doing very well. This is definitely bottom of the barrel type of guard.
It's quite the old uniform you have there. Say, do you have your religious pendants on you?
My what?
Your religious pendant.
Why would I have a religious pendant?
That's
Why
a
would you
weird
not?
way of saying that.
I wouldn't. I don't need a religious pendant. It's here on my helmet as the castle guard. We worship Helm, the god of protection.
Is that the way that works?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, the DM.
roll a religion check. I'll give you a religion check on this one. You don't know a lot as Sarah. 7. You have no way to confirm or deny whether he's telling the truth.
Due to the fact that I rolled a holy number, I think I should have, some sort of bonus. The religion of Helm, as I look around at everybody else.
Are you not worried that these god disappearances would lead to you being disappeared?
Me?
Yes, you.
What would they want with old Thomas here? They only
Your
take
English
the people
muffins.
Yeah.
They only take who?
I seem to only be people who know what they're doing.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Well, based on my own observations, I would say, and it was right around the time Lord Corvatash disappeared that I figured they were only taking people who were good at their jobs.
Lord Corvatash is gone.
Is that the prince or the fiance of that one noble I'm friends with?
That would be the fiance of Lady Seraphina Artmond.
Yeah.
Damn it, I liked him!
Which posts in particular have been targeted by these kidnappers, I'm assuming, or possibly murderers?
Oh, that's... Oh, well, we haven't found anybody murdered yet, but a lot of our standing posts, like we'll be on patrol, right? We'll see a guy, he'll be standing his post in front of a doorway, and then by the time we come back around, poof, he's fucking gone. Like, some people we think are like abandoning their posts with all this nonsense talk of, cultists and things infiltrating the capital. But we know that's not possible.
It definitely is.
Cultists are crazy, weird, and covered in hoods. If anybody was a cultist, it'd probably be that lizard back there.
Is this guy wearing a necklace at all?
He is not wearing a necklace.
Hey, buddy, I gotta ask you something real quickly. You mind taking off your helmet?
He looks down at the hammer that you have, and he eyes you kind of suspiciously, like, that's an odd request for someone with a blunt object.
Just for a second. Take off the helmet, please.
You don't even have to take it fully off. I just want to see you lift it off your head. Trust me, it's important.
Go ahead.
Can I use persuasion to convince him?
Yeah, let the persuasion monster convince him.
Yes.
Yeah.
While normally this could be happening, Thaddeus is the one who asked. So I will allow Thaddeus to roll with disadvantage, not disadvantage, with advantage if Shimmer is attempting to help. But how does Shimmer aid?
I specifically piped up and was like, take it off to ask him to take it off herself. Like a minute
After
ago.
all, you are in the presence of royalty.
You're jumping in with like a pretty please?
Basically, like I'm jumping in like, yes.
Okay.
I am a nobility. I would like you to see your face.
If you're gonna pull the nobility card, then yeah, okay, I will allow Shimmer to make her roll, but it'll be flat, not with advantage.
That's fine. 31.
Having pried his eyes away from the angry visage that technically is Thaddeus and his hammer, as he stares at you, Shimmer, you pull out you throw your royalty card, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sure, fine, yeah, we gotta listen to you." And you watch as he undoes the strap, and he pops the top off of his helmet, and you can see that he's shaved, completely bald. But you can see the hair is growing back in little bits, and it's very clear that this man has some male pattern baldness going on, which is why he shaves his head.
May I see your helmet for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
I would like to inspect the helmet.
Yeah, go ahead, roll me investigation.
Where's
Goose
the
bastards
damn
inspect
investigation?
walls. Timebreakers inspect helmets.
Timebreakers.
What was that?
You said the goose bastard.
16.
Okay, sorry.
Shimmer, you rolled intimidation.
That was intimidation. Damn it. I thought it pressed investigation. It's like another 16. Okay.
Right, it's the same. Okay. With a 16, you look over this helmet, and you do, in fact, find a small rune etched into the back of it.
Is it familiar?
It is familiar. This looks like one of Fall's enchanted helmets.
Interesting. A few of these helmets have these runes, and those with the runes are not good to be wearing, and it appears yours has it. I will be keeping this helmet.
But I need that.
Find another one.
What?
Hold on, who's the guy who's they're supposed to be seeking?
Dillin.
Dillin.
Yeah, say, does the name Dillin sound familiar to you?
I knew a Dillin back in high school.
When you say Dillin, when you ask him if Dillin rings a bell, he is going to snap to attention in the more rigid militaristic standing that you would expect him to be at all the time. And he's going to say, "Have you seen Dillin? We're supposed to report him."
No, we haven't seen Dillin. You should go find him and report back to us.
She's going to wave Thaddeus off. Report him to who?
I'm not entirely sure, but I know that if I see Dillin, I need to report him.
I would seem that you're still under the effect of the helmet.
Interesting. Well, be on your way, and I will be keeping this helmet.
Yes, ma'am. He's going to turn. He's click his heels, and march off in a way that he was not walking previously.
Well, seems we have more information. Seems we have more information to give the lizard. Shimmer's got to mutter to the group.
As he marches off, Thaddeus looks towards him and yells, "Good luck with your English muffins."
There's English in this campaign?
As you say that, he's going to throw out 2 fingers in a peace sign as a behind him, as like a yeah, sure, whatever. But he's going to keep walking without turning around.
Are we sure that's a peace sign?
That's what he did.
Onward to the lizard. We have
Yes, onward to the lizard.
weird guard things to report.
Lewis Ignatius Zephyr, Arcane Reader of Divination.
That is his name. And if you don't have one, you may have a point of inspiration.
Yes, I have a point of inspiration.
You guys make your way to the lizard's office, and his door is closed.
The lizard is the biggest source of inspiration we've had so far.
Throughout all of our games, too, I think.
That is true.
You said the door was locked?
I said the door was closed.
Closed.
I opened the door.
Yeah, when has that ever stopped us?
Yeah.
Oh, it was locked. I was going to pick it.
Sarah goes to open the door, and it is, in fact, locked.
Well, then Elise is going to pick it.
All right.
With the mage hand.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me your sleight of hand.
18.
Easy enough. This seems to be a fairly standard lock. It's not even magic, which is surprising. But you hear 3 distinct clicks as you unlock this lock, and the door swings open on slightly bent hinges. The room inside is dark, but you can see that it is like even more of an erratic mess than it has been previously.
That's not good.
I think somebody's been here.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Police will close the door behind them silently.
The hinges immediately tip me off that what the fuck is going on. There's something wrong. There's something's wrong
a
with the
magical
hinges.
lock was also concerning.
Yeah, Elise will shut the door silently behind them and begin looking around the room without a word.
Have you all gone inside?
Yeah.
Okay, you all stepped inside, and Elise has shut the door behind you.
Yes.
Okay, Elise, go ahead and roll me investigation. Do you have dark vision?
She has a moon-touched rapier that, if it is too dark in here to see, she would pull out.
There is no internal source of light, so when you shut the door, it is pretty dark. But you pull out your rapier. Okay, you'll be fine. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll me your investigation.
While Elise's, or when we walked in and everything, since it was dark and whatnot, I took my light hammer and I infused it temporarily with light.
Okay. Now we've got 2 sources of light.
I got a 1 and a 2 for a total of 15. And I have advantage because of the eyes of minute seeing.
The investigation, right. Wow, a 1 and a 2 on an advantage roll. But to still end up with a 15 is crazy.
Yeah.
You look around. You're looking around this space, and the more you look around, the more concerned you become. Because what you're finding is not just a trashed office, but an office that obviously had some form of a scuffle in it. You're starting to see weapon marks, claw marks, scorch marks, probably from some type of magic, most likely. Something went down in here. You also see several potion bottles smashed on the ground, and several larger glass shards on the table.
I would like to investigate those larger shards on the table because I have a feeling I know what they are or what they were to, and I would just like to confirm that.
Okay. You go to investigate the larger glass shards on the table. Seeing as you are an artificer and a tinker of sorts, I will give you advantage on your investigation.
16.
With a 16, your current fears are not realized whatever this particular object was previously, it is not the jar that housed the star. The material it is made of, while it is a glass object, it is far too thin to be whatever it was previously.
Well, also that, and Gregory took the star in the jar.
Oh, that's good.
But I was more concerned with it was some kind of crazy concoction that could have been very, very toxic for everybody.
Oh.
This is the lizard we're talking about.
This is the lizard we're talking about. But nothing about these shards give way that it was gas or liquid container. There's no residue to worry about. Nothing particularly crazy that you can tell about it.
Okay. I think my next order of business is I'd like to investigate the walls.
Okay. You look around the room. This is an oddly shaped room. So you have some walls with bookcases. You have a wall with a large fireplace. You have a wall with what looks like a window, but when you look over to it, it's actually a very, very realistic painting. Which wall would you like to investigate?
The wall that shouldn't be there.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me your investigation real quick.
Is that an investigation or is that an arcana?
First, give me your investigation.
What could we do arcana?
That has yet to work for you.
Really?
Every time you've tried that, it has yet to work for you.
First, give me your investigation.
Rolling investigation with disadvantage now because I've asked too many times about arcana. No.
No, we'll get there.
19.
Okay. As everyone else is looking around the space, you are taking it all in. You have light from your hammer, you have light from Elise's moon-touched rapier, and suddenly, with this wall in front of you, something clicks in your head. And you walk back to where Elise is currently investigating, and you can see what is effectively a trail of combat that leads back to this wall.
Elise, looking down here, I can see a trail of combat that leads back to this wall.
From where you are, you can see that the door was forced open suddenly.
From where I am, I can see that the door was forced open suddenly.
And the lizard, who was likely at his desk, stood up so fast that he knocked his chair over backwards.
And the lizard, who was likely at his desk, stood up so fast that he knocked his chair backwards.
As his assailants came running into the room, it looks like he was able to get off a fire spell, maybe a scorching ray or a flaming hands from the searing marks that are currently against the back wall and door.
It seems the lizard was able to get off a fire spell, a scorching ray or searing marks based off the evidence.
It looks like one of the assailants dove to the side and upturned the table to take cover behind it. But it's very clear that one of them was struck.
One of the assailants looks like they dove behind this table over here, but it looks like, very clearly, it looks like they were struck.
So there were at least two.
There were at least two.
One of them was carrying a large, sharp object, perhaps a sword or a spear, or maybe both.
Based on these indentations here, I think one of them was carrying a very large object, a sword or spear, or maybe even both.
The lizard probably came forward in an attempt to push them back out the door, and he was swung upon several times. It looks like they missed, as these slash marks in the bookcase provide.
These slash marks and these scuff marks prove that the lizard most likely got a few shots off, but he was struck several times.
They seem to be pushing him backwards, deeper into the room.
And they seem to be pushing him backwards, deeper into the room.
It looks like, with these shards of glass, he grabbed something off of his shelf or off of his person and threw it at his assailants.
Ah, it makes sense now. These shards of glass were most likely the lizard grabbing something off of his shelf and throwing it at his assailants.
As they pushed him further and further into the room, the other assailant seems to be carrying a large blunt object as you can see by the smashes of objects between here and the stone wall.
See these smashes here in between the stone wall? I think one of the assailants had a hammer of some kind.
And then one of them was a powerful enough spellcaster to put this wall up. Or the lizard put it up himself in an effort to defend him from the assailants.
And then this wall appeared. So that's all I've got.
And all of that happened. Thaddeus, roll me an Arcana check.
Okay, 1 second. Arcana. That's going to be a 21.
Thaddeus, as a partial spellcaster, you recognize this as the Wall of Stone spell. A very high, a fairly high level magic that only lasts for about 10 minutes. So this had to have just happened before you got here.
Huh. It's a wall of stone.
Yeah, here you go, Tinkle.
So.
I think that was excellent narration. Honestly. I think
It
that worked
really
out really
was.
well.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
With this wall of stone being in place, you know that you only have a few minutes. So you can either wait it out, attempt to dispel it if you can, or you could, if you are bored enough, try and smash through it with your hammer.
If I smash through it and it disappears anyway, is that going to be a problem? Like, it's not permanent, right? No matter what?
Right. It's going to disappear at some point within the next 10 minutes.
I'm kind of bored and I really want to hit something right now.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to smash the wall.
Okay. Go ahead and hit the wall.
22.
That is going to hit. Go ahead and roll me double
it is
damage.
a wall.
It is a wall, but you'd be surprised how hard some of them are to hit. Well, I guess it's not always about how hard it is to hit, but more about how hard the object is to cause damage to.
So, roll damage twice?
Yes, roll me double damage, because you are striking it with your light hammer.
What's that? Dang it,
That
where'd
is-
the chat go?
That looks like
It was
15.
8 and 7 for 15.
Yep. Okay, here we go. You have, let's see, the wall is an object of stone that can be damaged and breached with an AC of 15 and 30 points of thickness. Okay. You put a serious crack in it.
Okay. It seems like put a serious crack in this wall.
You have. Would you like to hit it again?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Can I see through the wall? Can you see through it? How big
It's
is this
stone.
crack? No, through the crack.
No. It's a large spider web fracture. You can't see through it quite yet. Nothing's fallen off. You would have to hit it again.
Yeah, well, I'm going to hit it again.
Yeah, go ahead and hit it again.
10. That doesn't hit.
It's a wall.
You think that you did much better than you did, so you strike it lightly in an attempt to break off just a little bit to see if you can see through it, but a little too light. Not hard enough to actually do any damage.
Okay, well, then I'm just going to wait. I'm sure it's anywhere from, 9 to 2 minutes?
Yeah.
To wait for the wall to disappear?
Yes.
I'm going to sit the chair back up and sit down.
All right.
I'm going to pull out both of my rapiers.
I would also like it to be on the opposite. Move the chair to be on the opposite, against the opposite wall, so I'm staring at the wall in the chair.
Elise will move over to the door and listen for anybody coming.
Okay. So after about 6 minutes, you start getting a little concerned, Thaddeus. The wall is still up. After 8 minutes, the wall is still up.
Okay, I'm going to hit the wall again.
At about... you go ahead and swing to hit the wall again.
16.
16 does hit.
Is it double damage again?
Yes. You are striking a wall with a hammer.
That's going to be 15. In fact, that's the last bit
That
I
will
needed.
do it. That will do it. At about 9 minutes, you guys watch as Thaddeus gets really bored and just walks up and smashes the wall with his hammer one more time. And this time, the head of his hammer goes through the wall, and he breaks a line down all the way to the ground as the wall starts to crumble. And Thaddeus, I need a dexterity saving throw from you, as a bolt of fire comes shooting out.
That's a 4.
Is there any way I can interpose myself in between?
Where are you, Sarah?
Next to him.
You are right next to him?
As per usual, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a maneuver or a feat or an ability that lets you...
Nope.
No shield master or anything of the such?
I don't have shield master, no, but...
Okay. I will say that because you are his steel defender, that it is your job to do such things. I will give him advantage. I will give him one more dexterity roll as if you pushed him in an effort to save him from said fire.
Wait, dex save or flat dex?
Dex save.
Oh.
Well, okay, wow. You got a 19 and a 20 on that roll, so I don't think it matters.
Okay. Considering that my dex save and my dexterity both have the same modifier, I think I'm okay.
Right. So with a flat 20, Sarah reaches over and pushes you out of the way of this bolt of fire. And you can hear a voice. You can hear a voice behind this wall say, "God damn, I missed." And the wall.
That doesn't sound like lizard.
Mom?
The wall is going to crumble. And what you
Did you
see.
say mom?
Yeah, you did.
And what you see behind this stone wall, under the light of the hammer and the rapier, is not the lizard, but it is Lord Handred Corvitash, very damaged, and holding a wand of some kind made of iron. He looks like he's on roughly his last legs. He's just kind of...
Does he have a sword, a spear, or a hammer?
He has a sword. A long sword. It is currently out, it is bloody, and it is in his other hand.
I'll stand up and be like,
does anybody
hello.
know healing magics?
What happened here?
We're attacked. They took
By
the
who?
lizard. By the guards.
Fucking course.
old
We
men.
had just had an encounter with one of the guards. I was hoping to speak to him about that.
Did you kill him?
No, he
I hope you killed him.
seemed useless. He seemed useless. I did not.
Don't they all?
And that. Fair. I'll cast. How damaged does he look? And how much HP does it look like he would have if he's healthy?
Versus 100.
Roll me a medicine check.
Medicine. 18.
18. You look at him, and it looks like he's taken quite a beating, and you would guess that on a scale of like between 1 and 120, he looks like he's about 8.
So I'm gonna cast Healing Word at 2nd level.
Okay.
11 healing.
Okay. That is a little better. It does look like his wounds have stopped bleeding. So that's a start.
Do you have any idea where they might have taken the lizard?
They said they were going to take him back. They had a jar. They got Gregory.
Oh, fuck it.
They got Gregory's jar. He didn't.
Great.
Anybody who hasn't watched up to this point is like, who the fuck is Gregory and what's the significance of this jar?
No. Damn it, they have that. If they have that, that's gonna be fucking bullshit. That's not good at all.
Shimmer, how very not noble of you.
How noble of you to just call some bullshit.
I'm sorry, I'm a magic user, and that cancels out magic.
Excellent. Hey, while this conversation is going on, can you guys please tell me your passive perceptions?
Okay. Also, you stopped your game session?
14.
15.
37.
What the fuck? No, bad.
No, it's actually 17.
14, 15, 17. Elise, what's your passive perception?
15.
Okay, got it. So 17 is... Let me just go ahead and... Excellent.
Apparently, I forget that passive insight is also a thing.
As you guys are talking to Lord
Elisa's
Corvitash...
Ear is still on the door.
Yes. Okay. If your ear is still on the door, go ahead and give me an active perception roll.
It didn't help. 14.
All right. Your ear is on the door, but the shock of seeing Lord Corvitash lying bleeding out on the floor and not the lizard, the questioning, the answers that he's giving. They've taken the lizard. They took Gregory and his jar. They almost killed him. You guys are paying attention very much to the man lying on the floor. All of a sudden, a crossbow bolt comes screaming past you guys and lodges itself in his chest. You hear him go, "Ugh!" And he kind of slumps over. And as you turn to see who it was or what it was that did this, a cloaked figure is standing in the middle of the room. He turns, sees Elise standing against the door, turns back. He looks left, he looks right, and then he, poof, turns into a mist and disappears.
Can I Eldritch Blast right at his feet, right as he disappears? So, like, I'm trying to hit him?
Yeah. As you take your shot, you take your Eldritch Blast shot as he disappears. The force shattering the stone where his feet were just seconds, just a second before. And that is where we are going to cut the episode today.
Dun, dun, dun.
Cliffhanger.
That is all for now. But when we return next episode, I'm sure the Timebreakers will continue to impress us.
Timebreakers.
You can come join the Discord. Link is in the description, and help us build the city from the inside. You can talk to us about it. You can give us ideas or references, or tell us when I make terrible decisions, like Wall of Stone. If you hold on to its concentration the whole time, becomes permanent. Oops.
I read that, actually.
Anyway, you can leave a rating, leave a review, and tell us how you really feel. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
You promised me an action.